Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video on the Rescue Saga Classic Car Restoration YouTube channel. So as you can see, the work is continuing with the 1976 Land Rover, and as you may have guessed from previous videos, it's time to get stuck into the exhaust. So I've got some spare time this week and I've got started into it. It's been jacked up on the axle stands and the old exhaust is off, and I've already started into hanging the new one. This clip here actually gives you a better view of just how bad this spring is. You actually notice it's bent back on itself, and I thought it was because that front clip here had moved, but I don't think it is. I think it's the spring has become bent, so that's something that's going to need looked at very soon. You can actually notice a rear hanger is at a different angle to the one on the other side there, so that explains why this Land Rover has never really sat straight, so that's a bit annoying. Something else that's quite annoying is, maybe you can't see it just so well, the amount of oil dripping out the bottom of the diff, and there's also a leak from the pinion at the front. So really this rear axle needs to come off, get the spring sorted, sort out the leaky diff, and while I'm there, round the back here, I'm going to sort out the adjuster on the drums, but that's not going to happen this week. That's going to have to do some planning for that. Also under here, nice to see the galvanised chassis holding up. No holes at all. I'm not really entirely sure how long that galvanised chassis has been on there, but it's certainly doing a great job. Quite a lot of mud, and actually in under here is completely solid between the chassis and the diesel tank, so that really needs cleaned out before the back of the tank starts to rust. Really needs a good power hose to get all that dirt out. Another problem I've noticed under here, I'm going to move that up. Our rivets have given way between the supports and the floor of the tub, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The entire side, this side has popped off. So it's really annoying. Now I have had some heavy loads in here. We recently did up some work in the house, so that's my only guess as to how those have popped off. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to remove the remains of this rivet, somehow support that in and put new rivets from underneath, because I really don't want to have to take the whole rear body off. So that's gonna take a bit of consideration. All these nice surprises you find whenever you start into a job. It's never as straightforward or as simple as it would really appear. Otherwise under here it's not too bad. Not sure if you can see, just in under there's a bit of corrosion in the top hat section supporting the aluminium, the Bourbon Bright floor, so a bit of investigation needed. But back to the exhaust. If you come over here, this is the exhaust fitting kit. Yes, it is Brit part, I know that. It's a shame, but I couldn't afford the stainless steel exhaust fitting kit, which came in at about £40, whereas this about £5. And really, this vehicle doesn't get a lot of off-road use or around salty environments or all that wet. So that'll just have to do, but pretty comprehensive kit. All the nuts and bolts are there, which makes it a lot handier than having to scrabble around and use the old rusty ones. There's an old plate, a new one. So 10 years, the zinc plated stuff hasn't held up too badly. There's the wheel nut sitting. 2 wheels stack off and child gate. It is a working garage. This is the garage of the home, so bits and bobs sitting about. So old exhaust then. This is my supposedly stainless steel exhaust, which is obviously not stainless steel, despite it being sold to me as that. So this is the middle section coming up to here. There is a joint here which I had to cut just to get it off. It was being sacrificed anyway and changed, so it didn't really matter. So I cut it there, but managed to take the rear section off. That's the middle section. Joint here, it goes into the silencer. And as you can see, the exit from the silencer broke off here, and that's it sitting there. So this is completely detached from that. So I cut it here, took the whole section out, and then I was able to take the front pipe out. Now, I got to the point where actually where these two had joined, there's a bit of rust on the stainless steel. Now this is stainless steel because it hasn't really rusted that badly. I'm sure some clever chemical people can tell me why this stainless is rusted, probably transfer from there. So what I did was I took this off the vehicle and I cut the joint off which was stuck on here, and what I've done is cleaned it up with a wire wheel and angle grinder, both ends, just to get surface rust off, and put some high temperature paint on. Not for cosmetic reasons, just to stop any more further rusting. And I've cleaned these up with a wire wheel as well. So this is stainless, that's not stainless. This was a very quick repair the night before our MOT here in the UK. It's a roadworthiness test. They obviously don't allow you through if you have a hole in your exhaust, so that was a quick patch just to get me through the MOT, which obviously then fell apart because there's soot down both sides. Didn't last a week, I don't think. And you can see it's all bent out there. Coming over here then, these are the two new stainless pits. This is the silencer and the exit pipe, and this is the middle section. So that pipe there, sorry, is the same as this pipe here. So it'll be nice once it's all on and fitted up. So that's the exhaust. This is where it's going to go. Quite a lot of mud is falling out. I was sort of poking around with this screwdriver to make sure there's nothing else strange or startling sitting in there. But there wasn't, thank goodness. So next job, get the exhaust all fitted up, make sure all aligns nicely, which it should do. This is supplied by, maybe you can see that, Double S, who make stainless steel exhausts, and I bought this through the Bearmac website. Here are some part suppliers I do trust. So good to go. Next video you'll see, hopefully the exhaust will be fitted, and we'll take it out for a run and see what the difference is. One other piece of news this week I'm glad to report is I finally bought a new jack. This was bought out of Halfords here. I will make a product review on it soon if you're interested in seeing that. Halfords here is sort of our UK-wide chain of car part stores, tools, but their home brand stuff, especially this Halfords Advanced, comes with a really comprehensive warranty, and they have no quibbles about replacing it. So it's a 3-year warranty. It's a 2-ton jack. It's got quick lift, release through the handle, lifts really nice and high, and it's low profile. So very pleased with this, and I'm going to put it to some good use and then make a product review on it, which some of you may be interested in seeing if you're in the market. Cost about £120, which not insignificant, because I think my last one was £30, but you get what you pay for, because it didn't really last very long and was starting to leak hydraulic fluid on the floor, which is really not what you want at all. So there you go, next job, get the exhaust fitted up, and you'll see that in the next video, all being well. Thanks very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. I reply to all my comments as always. I'm always glad to hear from you. See you next week.